You like that? 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 You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Jayden Daniels, one of my three favorite quarterbacks in this draft. And so we're going to do some of the next-gen stat stuff that we've been doing, tracking miles per hour, tracking that anticipation clock. And so we're going to check that stuff out. But I want to say off the bat, I think that this first game that he played against Florida State was by far his worst game of the season. Now, this is not me showing this because I'm hating on him or whatever. It's that this is actually a positive. This is as bad as it's going to get, and this is probably a pretty good game for anybody that's watching it to evaluate. He played pretty good football, so let's just jump right into this thing. So the first thing we're going to talk through. This is an opening play of the game. And one of the things that I hear people say about, a lot of quarterbacks that are a little bit more athletic, that they can move around, is that they're not good passers and they're not good processors or whatever. Jayden Daniels is one of the best processors in this draft. So they're going to run this leak concept here. So they're going to motion this guy back across. Going to be a little play action here, split flow. And so this tight end is going to leak across, and the back is going to leak across as well. So we'll see that here. So both of these guys come across. We get these clear outs, these two posts here to run off all the DBs. And so this is really good processing in my opinion, because typically you're going to want to hit this tight end. The tight end is usually the guy that's going to get hit on the leak concept, or it's going to be the guy from the opposite side. And in this one, he hits the back. So I think what he's doing here is he's going through his progression and he's seeing that the tight end is covered and he's hitting the back on this play. Okay, so that is really good processing to be able to do this in rhythm and on time. So watch this. Very quick, very smooth, hits the back, gives him space to run. So really good processing there from Jayden Daniels. So we'll see it from the tight here. Rolls out. And so this is man-to-man coverage. They bust this. The back is the one that ends up being the guy that's wide open. Typically that ball will come from the other side. So really good processing. All right, next play here. So I threw this one in here because the red zone, right, the trajectory on this ball, he throws this fade here, and he ends up choosing to, throw this back shoulder throw here, and I don't think that this is the correct throw. I think he should have threw it to the pylon because the corner is all over him. He's got hands on. They're playing chest to chest. I think that Neighbors here, if he throws it to the back pylon, he gets a better chance. And then also, if you throw this back shoulder throw, could get intercepted, could get picked because the corner wins there. So I don't think that this was necessarily a good decision. So boom, we see it. If the DB gets his head around, this is probably a pick. But red zone, really good, impressive stuff here from a processing standpoint, and just like quarterback play. This is really polished stuff. Like, people are talking about who's the best quarterback and who plays really well. Like, this is one of the best plays you're going to see from many of the quarterbacks this season. Really good polished stuff here. We're going to get this slant slide concept here. And so Florida State does a good job of banjoing this thing. So they switch it off. So Daniels doesn't panic, and we'll see his eyes here. If we back it up a little bit, Daniels doesn't panic. He progresses back here to this corner route. And so this is an impressive throw because he throws this thing. The guy's not open. The DB is all over him, but he throws it back shoulder to where only his guy can get the football. That is really savvy stuff. So anybody that's telling you that, Jayden Daniels isn't a good passer, or he's not a good processor or anything like that, yeah, they haven't watched the film. This is impressive as hell. Really good play there by Jayden Daniels. So see from the tight, look at his eyes. He's reading the slant side concept, doesn't like it. Corner's all over his guy. So what does he do? Throw him open. Back shoulder, accurate, touchdown. Hell of a play. All right, on this next one, I would have liked to see him on this play, throw the ball to the hot here because we got these off defenders. This guy's blitzing from crazy depth. I would like him to replace the blitzer and throw this ball here because then this guy would have room to run. But I also don't have a problem with him throwing it to the open target here. Okay, so he doesn't like it for whatever reason, comes back this way, and so he can read the underneath defender. He's going to go wherever the underneath defender doesn't. Underneath defender travels with the flat route, wide open here. Brian Thomas Jr., really good play, but it could have been a bigger play if he throws the ball into the hot. See, you see his head, and we'll see a little bit of this throughout the film that we watch on this one. He double clutches a little bit, doesn't like what he sees, and he's like a little indecisive here. See how the stripe of his helmet's kind of all over the place? But either way, hits a ball to an open target, gets it out on time, really good play. All right, so this one, again, so, the processing, college quarterback, it's going to be up and down. So this one, I think that this is an RPO, and the run element of it is a draw, so he can take off and run. But I think that he should have hit this screen here because we'll see. Look at this. Look at the blocks that are out here. If he gets the ball to this back in space, this is probably going to be a humongous play. So if I'm correct and this is an RPO, I think he made the wrong decision here. He should have got the ball to the back. There's nobody near him. And all these receivers, one thing, if you watch the LSU receivers, they're phenomenal at blocking. They do a really good job. If he gets the ball to this back here, probably a pretty big play. But either way, he's got the athleticism. He runs, makes a play, and gets a big first down. So you can see it here from the tight. Gets in here, uses his speed. Big play. All right, next play here. So the ball can get away from him on these shorter throws from time to time. I wouldn't say it's like, a big knock or something that I'm like super worried about, but I did just want to throw this one on film here. So when he gets out of rhythm and he's late on some of these shorter throws, and he has to throw this check down here, he airmails it, and it happens from time to time, and we'll be able to see from the tight. I think it's his feet. If we watch, he's a little bit on his toes when he makes his throw. You'd like to see him get all of his cleats in the ground and just drive the football, but just wanted to throw that one on here. All right, so anticipation clock. We've talked about this. We're going to talk about anticipatory throws over the course of this video. He had a little bit of trouble throwing with anticipation in this game. So I don't think it was consistent throughout the season, so it didn't worry me. But there were some times where the anticipation wasn't always there. And so we'll see it on this play. We got the anticipation clock. In future videos, it's going to look a little bit different. But on this one, he throws this ball late, and so we'll be able to see it here. Okay, so again, just as a reminder, the anticipation clock, I want to see when this receiver puts his foot in the ground like this, that's when the clock is going to start, okay? I want to see him get into his throwing motion. He doesn't have to have thrown the ball. I just want to see him start to get into his throwing motion when this happens. And so he's late here. And so, yeah, this is a completion. It's a nice completion. But in the NFL, this is a tackle, okay? If he can get that ball out a little bit more quickly, in the NFL, this is going to be a tackle, but if he anticipates it, this will be a bigger play. But since it's college, this guy breaks a tackle and gets down into the red zone. But I would like to see a little bit more anticipation on this throw. But still, either way, gets the ball to his target, accurate throw, just needs to clean that up just a tick faster. All right, so this is one of my favorite plays here from Jayden Daniels from this game to just show his ability to process the field. So this one, it's a mesh concept. And so typically with mesh, you'll get some kind of pre-snap alert built into it. So a go route here or like a post or something like that. And then also if it's man-to-man coverage, if you think a linebacker is one-on-one with your running back, you'll hit that rail route really quickly. All right, so that'll be your pre-snap alert. Those are two things that are kind of built into the play here. So this is man-to-man coverage, but these two defenders here banjo this thing. So banjo means that they're going to switch, right? So if they get a switch release from the receivers, they're going to switch their who they're covering, even though it's still man-to-man. And so on this play here, that ends up happening. And so Daniels is expecting that he'll be able to get the ball to the back end of flat since a linebacker is covering him. But now the corner is on him. So he can't make this throw here, okay? Because he's got leverage on him and it's not an advantage. This guy's better in coverage than this guy probably is as a receiver. So he progresses down here, still remembering that it's man-to-man coverage everywhere else, even though they switched it off. He progresses down here, gets the ball to his receiver on the drag here, and even though it's tackled, that's fine. But from a processing information standpoint and seeing this stuff quickly, I really, really liked this play. This type of mental acuity translates to the NFL. So we'll see it here. Boom, really quick, hitch, throw, get the ball out there. Yeah, it gets tackled, but that's really good processing from Jayden Daniels. All right, on this next one, I like this play because we're not going to get too into the scheme here, but I like this play because this is what NFL pockets look like. Pocket is muddy. He's got to buy time. Offensive lineman's getting pushed in his lap, so he's got to slide and move, and then hits his target right on his face mask. Really impressive play, and we'll see it from the tight as well. So pocket's muddy. This guy's getting driven back. This guy's free. He's just got to find space, falling away, throws it to Brian Thomas Jr. That translates to the NFL. That's quarterback stuff right there. Right? So don't tell me that Jayden Daniels is some running quarterback. Like, he can process the field, really good footwork as a quarterback. All right, so I threw this one in here because he's got a bit of a problem with playing hero ball sometimes. He thinks he's built like Josh Allen, but he's built like a slim receiver. And so he takes off on this play, and just for, 2 or 3 yards, jumps into this pile of defensive linemen and gets crushed. Not a very smart, heady play from Jayden Daniels. So we've seen some really good stuff from him, and we've seen some stuff that's not very smart as well. All right, so I threw this one on here because I once coached on a team with a quarterback that would do this, and quarterbacks that are good at processing information sometimes will have a tendency to do this little weird thing, okay? So 3-by-1 formation. You can get your front side look here. You're going through your progression. You have your front side look. And if you know you got a one-on-one out here and you trust this receiver to be able to beat this corner out here, you might use it as a full field read, okay? So when you do that, though, you have to peek front side. You can't go through the full progression on the front side and then expect that you're going to be able to hit this guy on the back side. It's going to take too long. And we'll see this on this play here. He's reading this play out, doesn't like it. Maybe he could have thrown the ball here, but either way, he doesn't like it. And then he comes back this way to his receiver. And so, yeah, you might say, oh, yeah, he got it in there. DB makes a great play on the ball. Receiver bobbles it and drops it or whatever. But we're talking about NFL football. In the NFL, this is a pick six. Because we'll go back and we'll watch it from the start again. And you'll see how long it takes for him to throw this ball and how long it takes for the play to develop. He's got to peek front side. If he doesn't like it, immediately get back over here. Way too long. Way too long. In the NFL, that is a pick six. So we'll see it from the end zone angle. Can't do that. Can't do that. Once coached on a team with a quarterback that liked to do that, sometimes he would do a good job of getting the peak and then throwing it to the backside. But sometimes he would take a little bit long and it would turn into interceptions. All right. So anticipation clock here. We got that bad boy up. So, again, this one is a little bit late, and I say that this one is late, and I think that this throw could have been anticipated because this is a quick game concept. It's double slant. Usually, typically with the double slant concept, you're going to go to the outside slant on this. So, he should have caught it, stepped and through. And I think that, even though the ball gets tipped in the air, I think that if the ball does make it there, if we watch, I think this DB is going to pick that thing off. I think he's definitely going to pick that thing off. And we'll see it from the tight angle. This is something that comes up on film with him, and we'll see this on a few more plays. I'm not saying he has small hands, but he does something that small-handed quarterbacks do, and it's fiddle around with the ball and try to find the laces on it, okay? So again, this is not a prediction that he has small hands, but this made me want to see at the combine what his hands measured out at, but he didn't end up doing the measurements at the combine. So, to be clear, Bo Nix also has this problem as well, but Bo Nix has 10-inch hands, so you can fix that, you can coach that out of a guy. But if you have small hands, typically you're going to want to find the laces on the ball, and you'll see it on this play right here. That's part of the reason why it takes too long for him to be able to get this ball out. He is looking for the laces on the football, and we'll see it a few more times. All right, so miles per hour, we want to track his speed. So, gets up on this one, 17 miles an hour is what we said we want to see from guys in the last video. He gets up to 16.8, so that's pretty close, right? When you're weaving through traffic, can you get up to that 17 mile an hour level? That's what I'm looking for. The other thing, let me go back to, so I've heard people, talk about him and say he's more of a straight liner as a runner. I do not see that. Watch how many times he makes guys miss here. Whoop. Really impressive stuff. I think that he can run. I think he's a dynamic runner. He's not a straight liner. All right, so on this one, I should have put the anticipation clock on this one. I'm not sure why I somehow lost that in the shuffle, but this is a really good anticipation throw here. Gets this bad boy out to his receiver in space. So I like that one. See it from the tight. Boom. So again, right, we can see here. So again, I'm not predicting that he has small hands, but this one, again, has to find the laces on the football. Again, same thing as before that we talked about. You got to peek front side and then get to the backside quickly. Okay? So a little bit faster and a little bit better here, but still a little slow. And I think in the NFL, this is probably a PBU. Finds the laces on the football, but this one is a little bit more of a longer concept, so that's fine. All right. So one thing that I noticed as well in watching film on him is on the anticipatory throws that he does make sometimes outside the numbers, bad things tended to happen in this game. Now, it wasn't consistent over the course of the season, but there was a rhythm and a timing issue that he had in this game. And so this ball, he throws it with really good anticipation, but the ball sails on him. So you can see he's already starting his throwing motion right now. You can see he's pulling the ball down, and the receiver is getting into his break. So that's an anticipatory throw, but the ball's a little bit all over the place. And I think I might just chalk this one up to it being the first game and him, getting acquainted and used to the season. All right, so this is the biggest question I have with Jayden Daniels, and we'll see it over the course of this video, and we will chart it and track it in more videos that we do on Jayden Daniels. It's the miles per hour on the throws. I personally think that his arm strength on drive throws is below average, okay? So typically on these drive throws, you're going to want to make the throw, between 45 and 50 miles an hour. Like, that's like average NFL quarterbacks. And 50 miles an hour, that's you're only going to see that a couple times in a game. But like me, I want to see between 45 and 50 and then at least hit 40 on these. Well, on this one, 36.9. And you can watch, look how long it takes for the ball to get to the receiver. And look how long he has to wait for it. He's sitting there waiting forever for that football. Really concerning to me on the arm strength thing, okay? And we'll see this over the course of this video. Ball takes forever to get to the receiver. All right, again, anticipatory throw. Really good job throwing with the anticipation here. We can see he's throwing this football before he turns, but again, ball sails on him. And you'll be able to see it from the end zone angle. This ball is completely uncatchable. It's way out of bounds. So, issues with anticipation. Throwing outside the numbers. Again, we can see the athleticism here. Really good. Running in space. Gets out on the perimeter. breaks a tackle here. Now, what he's going to have to do in the NFL is he's going to have to slide. Like, too many of these big hits, don't like it, especially with his body size. You got to learn to live to fight another day. And so the other thing too is we don't see any knockback power when he does this stuff, right? When he tries to like run guys over or put the shoulder down, guys never go backwards. He's always the one going backwards. He's really got to clean this up. So see it from the tight angle here. Look at the speed. Get down, just slide, right? Don't let this guy get into you, get a shoulder into you. That's not good. All right, again, anticipation clock. So he's a little late on this one again. So double slant concept. A little late on this one. If he can get this ball out a little bit more quickly, I think that Neighbors is going to have some space. And you know that you're usually going to go to the outside slant on this double slant concept. So we'll see from this angle. Again, what does he do? Find the laces on the football. It's not catch, step, throw. So that's something that really shows up a lot on tape for me. Again, we'll see it again. We get this one from the tight angle. Got to find the laces on the football. And it just makes more time for the defense to be able to get out here. Obviously, this guy's got to do a better job of blocking. But still, we want to get that ball out quicker. All right, so miles per hour here on this one. So he's late on this throw. And so 46.92. Good, right? We said we wanted to get between 45 and 50. The problem, though, is of the throws that I've charted from him, this is the fastest one. And so the fastest one is on the low end of that 45 mile an hour to 50 mile an hour range. So little concerning. The arm strength is a big question for me, so I'm going to continue to chart this. All right, so on this one, again, arm strength, charting this throw, throwing outside the numbers. Now, again, yeah, these are opposite hash throws, but still, the miles per hour should be faster, okay? In the NFL, I think some of these balls are going to get picked off. All right. So on this one, this is a problem that shows up pretty consistently on film for him. Middle of the field. And I personally think that the arm strength thing is part of the reason why he passes up some of these middle of the field throws. So you'll see we got a receiver breaking open in the middle of the field, and you'll see from the stripe of his helmet, the progression is definitely here. But he just doesn't make the throw, and it turns into a sack. So you'll see his eyes, he's looking at it the whole way, and for whatever reason, he doesn't just throw the ball to the open target. So I don't think that it's an issue with processing. I think that he's a very good processor. I think for a college quarterback, he's an elite processor. I think the question more has to do with arm strength. All right, so this one, I really like this one here. Throwing on time, pocket, barreling down, anticipation throw. Look at this anticipation throw here. Really good. Should have put the clock up for this one. Impressive throw from Jayden Daniels. Muddy pocket, throwing the ball with anticipation, slinging it around the yard. Really like the way that he throws the football. All right, so I put this one up because I have questions about his arm strength on drive throws, but I don't have very many questions on his deep ball, right? I think that he can air the ball out. But this throw is about 50 yards in the air, and he totally shorts this one, okay? Totally throws this one short and allows a DB to be able to make a play on the football. This should have been an easy touchdown. Should have been an easy touchdown on this one. Leaves it short. DB makes a play on the football. So, don't love that. Now, again, this is a big time throw because he's throwing this one from the opposite hash, right? But I counted it out. It's about 50 yards. About 50 yards. So an NFL quarterback should be able to make this throw. And that 50 yards accounts for, the ball being from the opposite hash. So, all right, on this next one, again, throwing the ball with the anticipation here. I just threw this one on here because, it's not his fault because Neighbors falls down. But again, the anticipation throws in this game outside the numbers were a bit of a problem for him. And the DB probably would have made a play on the football anyways, even if Neighbors didn't fall down. So the anticipation in this game was not great. Big interception here. All right. So again, tracking the miles per hour on this one. 38.4. Like real concerns about his ability to throw the football with speed. So it's impressive to be able to get the ball out there, right? He's throwing the ball from the opposite hash, but I'd like to see more velocity on these throws. All right, so we're gonna end it. This was the last play of the game for LSU. We're gonna end it with a great play. This one shows his ability to read coverage, read the field, process information, and throw the ball with the correct trajectory. So on this one, we get this cover two shell, but they rotate, and this ends up being an inverted cover two. So he's going to become like the safety and be the half field player, and then this star, this nickel defender here, is going to end up being the flat defender. Okay, so it's cover two. Now, it looks like he might have shorted this throw like the other one that I had up there. Oh, no, 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 no. This is absolutely something that he did on purpose, and this is really impressive because since it's cover two, you got to fit this thing in between these two defenders here. You got to throw this ball with touch, and he feathers that one in there. This is a hell of a throw, and then to process it. Look at him process the information here quickly, understand what the coverage is, make the correct trajectory throw, and it ends up being a big touchdown. And we'll see it from the tight angle. When you see it from that end zone shot, you see just how great he was at processing this thing. Look at how fast this is. He sees the coverage, bang, hits it in there between those two defenders. Hell of a play from Jayden Daniels. All right. So that's it for the first breakdown of Jayden Daniels. This video went super long, but I wanted to give you guys all the context I possibly could on this game. This was by far his worst game, and we saw tons of impressive stuff in it. So I'm excited to continue to break down Jayden Daniels, one of the three best quarterbacks in this draft, and I will see you in the next video. So as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.